Alright, here we are down low, guys, with the Skyline R by ESG or E-Smoke Guru. Now, this is out of Greece, so with that, this is the packaging that it comes in. Very similar to that of its predecessor, which I don't have the container on me. I did not bring it over like I should have, but it is behind me. And that is of the original Skyline, which came into a brown oak case, said the same thing, said ESG Skyline on it. When you open this up, now, I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and take this. You're going to get a baggie of goodies. Not this one. I'll explain that in a second. Your airflow inserts. Your baggie of goodies and your drip tips. You're going to get a standard or two standard black drip tips. I don't know where I put my other one. I'll find it. I don't know where I put it. But you're going to get two drip tips, okay? Two standard black drip tips is what you're going to get with it. There's one of them right there in the bag. And then you're supposed to get one, I think, that's a tighter draw. That comes standard on the device itself. I think it probably is in the back. But what I did was I contacted Dios. Okay, if you're familiar with ESG, you'll see Dios on there. And this is the Skyline R S-tip. Now, what makes that unique? Well, the black one is all black, but here is the S-tip. It contours to the body of the Skyline R, and to me, completes that look. It is also just, for some reason, it made it a little bit better, more flavorful, etc. What we're going to put it on, it's none other than his brother's mod itself. Now, there's no battery in it right now, but this is just to show you that's how easy it is to take it apart. You just take it off. Okay, so there's the coil. Now, the coil inside is a 32 by 2 gauge Alien, wrapped in, I believe, 40 gauge. I think it's the 1 or 1.2 or 1.5 millimeter restricted direct lung, pretty close to the airflow hole. And then here's the main body. So to take it apart or to fill it, you will just unscrew the top. That comes off, and you can keep your drip tip on there. Okay, now there's that. Now you have their standard hexagonal, basically juice flow control or whatever, you know, for the chamber. But in this model, all you have to do is push it down and it brings the chimney out. And your chimney is out. Or your chamber. Then okay, mine's a little stiff right now. La 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 la. What do I have on me? I want to be careful with this because this is real borosilicate glass. This is not plastic. Therefore, you can run any type of liquid you want inside. You don't need to take it apart. That's right. All you do is slide it. Okay. Best way to do it is set it flat down, push down. Okay. Reason being is it'll give it a flat surface so you can take it down and slide your glass off. Now, you have your Skyline R broken down. Okay. Now, this bothers a lot of people, and it does me too. It is that juice flow control and the airflow being staggered the way it is. Okay. Let's get that to focus right there. And you can see what I'm talking about. The staggering, how this is your airflow control and your juice flow control. They're angled at each other. Now, with that, here's the con to it. This is the only con I really have, big con I have on this tank. So you put everything back together, no problem. I love the tank, don't get me wrong. Good design, great quality, great finish. I love how they kept the rotary style of everything they've done, which is this head right here is a rotary like the RX-7. And this here, when you have your chamber inside, put your chamber back in. Okay, there, you hear it clip. All right. It will move your juice flow, but the problem is this, and I'm going to show you on the mod. All right, so there's my juice flow control wide open, but say I want to cut my airflow down. Well, I move it, what happens? My juice flow control opens. You can't move it once it's all together, but one way. That's the only con I see on this tank, okay? So that's it. But it looks amazing on the MK mods Farita. I hope I say that right. Please forgive me, okay? American. I'm not Greek, okay? Love you. Mod, okay? This is the Ivory Juma, okay? By MK. Alright, DNA 75C. I think it looks perfect. Perfectly fits in a hand. Fire button perfectly sits there. Buttons are up, nice and clicky. Raised above level. Easy to get to USB port. 510. That's the only thing I saw on mine that's an issue to me, is that it does protrude a little bit with the batteries, but that's okay. I do have the case and everything for it. It needs to be sent in eventually for buffing and polishing and some repair work, because there's two balls that sit up here, and because of my constant use of this and my greasy hands, I have chipped it a little bit, which, you know, I've already talked to them. They'll fix it for me. There's a little rattle of some balls inside, but nothing that's going to hurt it. I already talked to them. But there's your Skyline R, broken down really well done. The airflow inserts are really easy to do generally. All you're going to do is take them from right here. You don't have to do anything, and they just slide out. Okay, now mine are a bit stiff, but it's okay. I'd rather my inserts be a little bit stiffer than just something that just flops out. But you just slide these out right here. There. So this is the 1.5 millimeter. Okay, and then when you go to put your insert in, you can quick change it on the fly, because once you get that in, bam, inserts in, it slips underneath the lip on the inside. You can take your tank, close off your juice flow completely, take your tank and just sit it upside down with your juice in it still. It won't leak nowhere. Change your airflow, say I need it to be tighter or more open, or change your cotton, and you're not going to lose your juice in the process. Very good design, love it all day long. The only difference was on the styles, and I'll show you the styles because I have the Skyline with me, is this. When I get this locked back, there it goes, bam, boom, lock. Alright, so lock that, hold this, open the juice flow, bam, it's done. So with that, Dio's drip tip, I'm going to set that here, put my marker back in, there's that, boom, done. Okay, set that aside. Again, the coil used inside is going to be by AK82 coils. Let's get that to focus. Alright, so shout out to AK82 coils. I use my 32 gauge aliens on that, and I wick it with Cloud9 cotton. Good stuff, guys. It's 1 meter of cotton. It's not that expensive, super absorbent, and it would last you. I actually thought I was going to run out, and I ordered actually 3 more because I thought I was going to be out by the end of the month, and we're into my 2nd month, halfway through, and I'm still on the first 10. So that's that. But this is the original Skyline. This is an authentic Skyline R with a drop kit on it. I don't have the standard tank, which is taller, on top of a Danny box. So the differences for air or juice flow control in this was you would adjust it by twisting the drip tip, and it opened up the juice flow window right there. Okay, so you see that, you turn your drip tip and the window closes, and this is how you would shut off your juice flow control. Once your juice flow control was shut down all the way, boom, locks, you could take your deck and unscrew it out, flip it upside down, making sure your juice didn't come above, and you can still keep your juice on the inside of that one. It just wasn't sealed. Now, on this one here, they have inserts or different decks you can buy on the original Skyline. Okay, I'm just comparing the two so you can see the difference. And again, another AK82 Customs coil and different decks. Now, the decks literally just basically take your 510 out and they twist out and you can put it in. Now, you can get the deck like this one here, which is wide open, and then get inserts and they go inside just like the other one. But the only difference is you have to remove the coil. So that was the improvement from this to the other one. But I actually like the juice flow control system on this because your airflow control, when your whole tank is assembled, see, everything has pros and cons. You know, you can improve one thing, but on here, you can drop your airflow down where you run, say, only one side of your airflow of both. And if you want more, you could run it more, and it's not going to, and you can keep going, but you can still have full juice flow control over here. That was the difference. And it's a shorter tank on the drop kit. They have them in Ultim Clear, and then they have a full glass section that you can buy as well. If you don't want any metal at all on this, okay? Different color drip tips, black, Ultim, and then clear, polished clear. Let's get that to focus. Focus, focus, focus. All right, there you go. So those are the differences between the two Skylines. Some have pros, some cons, and they have their typical logo on there, ESG. So let's go ahead and set that back onto the Danny box. Screw down on the Danny box. It's screwing the juice flow control instead. Alright, there we go. Alright, lock down. Open that up. Alright. Good mod. I like it on the Slam kit because you see Danny box SBS mod. You can see how well that sits. Skyline R, it sits a little bit taller, obviously. You can see the height difference is there, you know, because this is recessed down. So say it's about right there. You can see the difference between the two. That's it. But that's the Skyline R. Wicking is very simple on this. I'm not going to wick it up. I'll just get my pros and cons on it. But just put your cotton, set it right inside, leaving a little space between the cotton and the bottom of the deck so juice actually goes to it on both sides. Typical of an RTA. The typical RTA wicking, and it'll do good. Using Cloud9 cotton, it swells out, fills out that hole, and I've never had a dry hit on this with it at all. And then it's just a matter of you finding which airflow insert you want, because when you buy this or when this in a list, or buy it from somebody that sells it, if they do, you get one free insert, or you can order the inserts from esmokeguru.com and get the rest. And that's how my Skyline R stays. So with that, let's bring it back up on top, and we'll go over the final pros and cons that I've talked about. And that will be it. So see you guys back up on top. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Uncharted Vapor, and today I'm bringing you a review on a product that I picked up for the purpose of review and my own personal collection. That is of the Skyline R. And with that, I have its original predecessor with me as well, the Skyline. Now, in the Skyline, this is how they originally came out and packaged. It says ESG Skyline, just like the new one does, but the box has changed. Now they have a black box, black label instead of silver, and it says Skyline R on it. So, I think they both came in very good presentation. They do very good. These are out of Greece. Both products have really proven themselves in the market, but there are variances and differences like I showed down below. So now with that, I'm going to give you my pros and cons on both devices. If I can speak English, they'll do good, you know. I give a shout out to Dio for getting me out the S-tip. Now, I wanted the S-tip because the original tip that came with it was a black Delrin or a black plastic tip. And to me, it just didn't scream to me high-end at that point, you know. You spend $400 on a tank, $500 on a tank, it should really come out and be like, okay, well, that's really nice. Well, the tank was really nice, but the tip kind of took away, in my opinion. That's just my subjective opinion on it. It's not saying it took away from the tank. The nice thing is the easy fill system on the tank. All you do is cut off the juice flow and pop it apart like I did. Putting your coil in is the exact same way you put your coil in on the regular Skyline tank. But the difference is the airflow ability to change. So the original airflows on the Skyline was inserts or decks that you had to switch out. So either build each deck or take your build out, put a new insert in to change it. Here you can change your airflow on the fly. Very big pro. A con to me on the tank is what a lot of people talked about, is the staggered airflow and juice flow control, and the fact that they are connected together. Why I say that is because that of the original, the airflow and juice flow control are separate. So therefore I can put a 50-50 in here, drop my juice flow control down, and then I can adjust my airflow where I want it based off of my taste. Single-sided, single hole, just the 10% of all the airflows that I could have, and that's basically what I could do on that. But they both run very small reduced chambers, and surprisingly enough, as big as this tank looks, the chamber on the inside is very, very tiny. Inside the chamber of the outside of this tank, there's another chamber on the inside of the tank, as I showed down below. They have kept with the same system, the rotary style system of how to turn on and off the juice flow control by just turning the top. This makes it really nice because you can easily just turn it, be done, take it, twist it, right off, bam, swap out your cotton. If your coil, say, burned itself up because you maybe overheated or whatever, just change your coil right out. Or say, hey, I need more airflow, pop your airflow out, put the new pin in. That's it. Now, other than that, there's no other cons to me on this tank. It looks really good. I would hope that they will come out with a drop kit for this so that this shortens itself down to be a little bit shorter, but we'll be able to retain me to be able to use my S-tip and keep the same look, where this comes down shorter by cutting maybe this chimney down maybe halfway, bringing it down 5-6 millimeters, and it will look even better. That's just my opinion. I hope that comes out in the future. With that though, overall flavor on this tank is really good. I'm using the 1.5 millimeter pin. I'm running my coils again from AK82 custom coils here, 32 gauge by 2 by 40 Nichrome 80. That's the coil I'm using, and I wick it with Cloud9 cotton. Why do I use Cloud9? Because it's super absorbent. There's no break-in time at all, as of that of Cotton Bacon Prime. Cotton Bacon Prime is absorbent, but on these small reduced chamber tanks, you have a little bit of a cotton taste for a little bit, and then it goes away. But on Cloud9, not at all. No issues. So that's what I love about it. So both tanks look super nice, no matter what it is. And why did I bring out this mod? Well, it's MK Mod Verita. I hope I say that right. Verita, which is Dios's brother's company. So the big shout out to Dios's brother for making an amazing looking mod. Now, this is the older model of a mod. I need to get refinished. It has definitely taken its use and it's got some miles on her. But you know what? She keeps on kicking and keeps on going. So with that, I'll eventually send this back in, get it repolished, fixed up, get the tube and everything taken care of. It works perfectly still. There's no issues with it. I just like my OCD, aesthetically get it fixed again. It is an older one, so hey, Juma over time just needs to be fixed, because it becomes brittle over time, especially in humid weather. But with that, Skyline with a drop kit, Skyline without the drop kit, but packaging 100% hands down one of the best. Easy to wick, easy to fill. It's literally just twist the top off, pull it off, taking the glass off, flip it upside down, set it down, push down, boom, your glass comes right out, no problems. You don't have to fiddle around with an over tightening of it. It is made of boresilicate glass, which is really, really nice. So I've had no issues with it at all with this. And with that, I'm gonna, really say overall, if I rated these, or rated this tank, not this one, because this one here, I'm not worried about. That was just brought out for comparison. But if I rated the Skyline R from a 1 to a 10, off the original looks, I would have gave it probably a 6.57. But because of Dios's S-tip, it brought it up to me to around an 8.5. And the reason why not a 9 or 9.5 is because of the fact of the juice flow and airflow not being separate. Kind of takes a little off. But other than that, no issues. Hands down, if you can get a hold of one of these, I would recommend it. I'd recommend getting it and having it with you. Not only just because the box looks really nice, but because it actually is a really flavorful tank. As most people will look at this and be like, oh, that's not going to be flavorful, it's so big, it's got a big throat. No, it doesn't. The chimney inside of this thing right here, literally, if I measured it out right when I did it before, was something like 12 millimeters. That's the chimney, that's your chamber that you got your coil sitting in. So it's really tiny. And then there's your outer chamber. And then all this does is you just slip it in and it just slips right back in. That's all you have to do. And put it right back on. Did it get back in? Not yet. No, I gotta get it lined back into the hole. But the hole's over here, dummy. But as you can see how easy it is to operate this tank. Like taking it apart to clean it, it's a breeze. There is a cutout on the inside of this tank. There it went. There's a groove cut out on that part of that chamber, so that way it controls the juice flow. Okay, and that's it, guys. There's not a whole lot to go over. I'm not going to vape on it. I'm not going to put wick into it and fill it all up, because then that means I have to sit here all day long and vape it. And really, right now, I'm not really vaping on this one right now. It's more in my collection right now. When I feel like a tank, I do pull it out. It's one of the tanks I pull out. It's either that, this Skyline, or my other ones like my SRV one. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope I gave you some good information about it. If you're interested in a tip, just message Diozimos. Okay, you can find them on ESG. You can find them on MK Mods. I'll put the links of both of them in the description down below. And you can purchase the tip from him if you have the authentic Skyline R. That's the only ones he makes them for, are authentics. So with that, until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the next review.